Hello everyone, it is Susan from Suehiles Art. Welcome to my crafty chit chat and slow stitching video. Today we're going to do a few different things. Well, a couple, I guess. The first thing is, I want to show you the three-page Just Because book and where we're at right now and what we're going to sew next. And I also want to show you the buttonhole stitch or the blanket stitch. It's the same thing, except it's called two different things. And I want to say practicing that, but I don't practice very much, which is part of my problem. But anyway, yeah. So I think the first thing is, let's go ahead and take a look at where we are with this, and yeah, and we'll go from there because we're almost done. We're getting towards the end of this three-page Just Because book. So the front cover is done. The next step is to work on this. So this is something that I wanted to try to work on today and get it sewn. And then once that is sewn, then this can be sewn to the front cover, because that's all one page like that. And I think I'm going to sew just these 3 pieces down. Well, there's actually 4 pieces of fabric. So I think that's how I'm going to finish up that page. And then, like I said, it can be sewn to the front cover. This is done. This is done. This page right here and this page, and they are already sewn together. So those are done. This page is done, which we have worked on together. And I think I'm going to add some lace to the end of this page right here. And yeah, I think I need to definitely do that, and that's fine. And then we'll work on this page, and this is the last page in the journal, is right here. And I don't really have a full plan for this last page yet. I did find these kind of like leaf type shapes in this green. It's like nylon, like pantyhose. And I just thought it looked pretty with the green on this page. So that's kind of like my thought so far for this last page. I don't know what else I will add. And then these 2 pages will get sewn together. And then we're going to sew all 3 pages together with the fabric that is on this side. So that's my plan. And so I think the next thing that I'll do with all of you, let me move this out of the way, and we can focus on sewing these fabrics down. But before we go ahead and sew those pieces down, I wanted to share the blanket stitch with you. So the blanket stitch is a stitch that I've also been struggling with. First was the feather stitch, which, I showed you guys how to stitch in my last Monday's video. Of course, all the credit goes to Mary Corbet because I'm learning this from her YouTube channel. And I'll make sure I put a link below for her channel. And yeah, so today I want to share with you the blanket stitch, or sometimes called the buttonhole stitch. Now this stitch, I also came through and I put a couple lines on here just with pencil, and because visually, just like with the feather stitch, those 3 lines made all the difference for me. So working with these 2 lines really is also helping me a lot, but this time with the blanket stitch. So I have my thread, I have this little piece of fabric, and the first thing that you do is on the bottom line, in this case, the bottom line is going to be the line that has, I don't know how to explain it, like the continuous stitch, where I think Mary called them arms. The stitches that go up, the individual stitches, are actually created by using the top line. So that says, that was maybe a little confusing. Let me just show you. You go in at the bottom line, and then making sure that your thread is down, not upwards or even sideways. You want it to be down like this. You're going to come up to the top line. So I'm coming in the top here, and then directly vertically from where I went in, I'm going to bring my needle out on the bottom, and making sure that the thread is underneath the needle. So see, it's underneath. You're just going to pull. And it literally is that easy. I know, and I say it's easy, and trust me, if anybody knows that it's not always that easy, it's me. Trust me on that. But let's do another one. So I'm going to go in, top line, out, the bottom line, making sure that the thread is under the needle, and pull it through like that. Just like that. That's it. That is the blanket stitch. I'm going to do another one. Top line, bottom line. And, you know, of course, if I was actually sewing this stitch on a project, which I am going to do today, I wouldn't have the lines, and not that you couldn't put lines, I suppose you could, except that you would want them to be, I would imagine, faint, so that they're not super noticeable. But you could have lines if you wanted lines. Sure, you could. You know, that's totally up to you. But I would imagine most times you would not have lines. You would just be stitching directly onto, whatever it is that you're sewing. So that's it. That is the blanket stitch. I hope that made sense to all of you. And, check out Mary's video from below. But to finish it off, I'm going to just go over the thread at the bottom there, like that. So it finishes off in the corner right here, because I just sewed that corner down nice and tight. And then just, knot it on the back, and you have successfully done your blanket stitch. All right, we are done, done. I hope that was helpful to you. Let me know. All right, so now can I use the blanket stitch on here? Right, because it would be good to use it. Well, let's see. Well, let's just take a look at something real quick. So this is going to be this page. And on the opposite, right, the second page has I'm trying to grab it and it's not letting me grab it. Here we go. The second page has some orange on it, right? You see the orange? So I'm thinking I want to bring a little bit of orange over here, even though there's no orange there, right? I'm going to go way off color for this left side of this page. But I feel like it'll work because of that next page. So what I think I'll do, and this is not even cut properly here, so let me trim this off. Let me know, you guys, have any of you practiced the feather stitch after I shared it last week and how to do it? And if you didn't catch last week's video, you can definitely look for last Monday's video, my crafty chit chat and slow stitching video, because that's where I shared how to do the feather stitch. But again, it's all Mary Corbet, it's not me. All right, so this is the way. I want to make sure I have it the right way. So this is the way it's going to go, is like this direction. So what I'm thinking as I'm looking on here with all of you, like, I don't care, like, so this piece, this green fabric right here, to me, I don't feel like it even needs to be sewn on this side. I like the fraying of that fabric. I think it looks good. It doesn't need anything to hold it down. But this piece right here, this light piece, I think what I'll do is I'll put a stitch here and have again, I think she called them arms, go up this way, because I could have them go this way, but I think I'll have them go that way. So I'm going to give that a try. Let's just give it a try. I know I'm going to start down here. Oh, this needle on this that has this orange thread is not a sharp needle, so that's going to make it a little bit more difficult. So it's going to come across. I probably didn't start it up far enough, right? But I'm going to go with it. So now I know I have to keep the thread down, but I'm going to come up here and then down, equal to or parallel to that first stitch where I came up. So I'm just going to kind of do that all the way across. Now it's not exactly like I was first envisioning it. I was envisioning it more on the lighter color fabric, but that's all right because now I'm not covering up these little sweaters that are on that fabric, so that's okay. I mean, either way would have worked fine, but I mean, it's working. So what I'm noticing is that when I came with these stitches, even though these are so far straight across, they're lower than this one. So I should have had them up here a little bit, but that's okay. Well, I've been thinking about what we're going to work on next because, like I said, this is almost done, and this journal. So I've been thinking about, well, what are we going to sew next? And what I think I'm going to do is go back to what I call the simplistic blocks, because I have, I think, 4 of them done, and I wanted 6 in total. So I was thinking of working on those and finishing that up. My stitches are getting shorter. Look at that. I didn't go up as high as I should have. That's all right. And I think the reason being partially is because I changed the direction that I was holding the fabric, and that might have made me change my stitches a little bit. Okay, this is going to be the last stitch for this, and then we'll take a look to see what else we need to stitch. All right, and I'm going to knot it off. So we did it. I did a blanket stitch. Woo woo. That's exciting. This needle is awful. It is very dull, very dull. And it does not want to go through the fabric very easily. Ah, come on, there we go. All right, I like that I did that. Again, it came out visually different than I thought it was going to. But that's all right. That's all right. I like it. It looks fairly neat and even to me. And that was good. That was good. Now I have this piece of purple that I actually had hand dyed. That has to get sewn down. And of course this piece right here. So this piece is just a piece of fabric that I had stamped a feather onto. So that's what that is. But how am I going to sew these down? What I think I'm going to do is I'm just going to grab this neutral color thread and I'm going to just stitch this down right here. I'm just going to do a straight stitch or a running stitch and just to get this down. And what this will do is it will also sew that purple down. So then that means that that side of it is good. And then I can worry about this side over here. And then once that's done, then this page is finished. And then I have to sew it onto the front page, and I think I know exactly how I'm going to do it. It's going to be fairly easy, I think, right now because of this fabric. It's like the upholstery fabric, so it's fairly thick and has a lot of threads going through it. So when I sew this page onto this page, I'm thinking I can very easily sew onto a thread here without really seeing it from the other side. That's what I'm hoping for. I mean, I don't care if I see a little bit of it on there. But yeah, so that's the plan for that. And maybe that's what we'll do next. Why do I have this pin here? Oh, I have these pins because this purple back here needs to be sewn down onto this flowery piece. So that's why those pins are there. So when I sew this down, it's going to sew this purple piece down ow, I just stuck myself on this side. Oh my gosh. All right. This is a lot of fabric to go through because that purple piece is very thick. It's heavy. And that orangish color that I used here is actually this. Isn't this the most beautiful color? I mean, I was never one to really be into orange, but this is more like a rusty orange or a burnt orange. And I just love this color. I'm so glad that I had purchased it. I don't remember where I got this from. It could have been from my local sewing store, my mom and pop sewing store that I go to. But it's a Wonderfill pearl cotton. All right, so this is all sewn down now. I'm good with that. Let's focus on this piece right here. How will I sew that down? Should I just do a regular stitch? Should I do some cross stitches? I even thought about like adding some lace here, but I don't think I need to because what I really want to see is this dyed fabric, this eyelet fabric under here. I love it. I love seeing the holes here, and so I don't want to cover that up. I could do some cross stitches just to get it down. And again, it doesn't have to be where the whole thing is sewn down like from top to bottom. It doesn't have to be like that. It can just be basically tacked down here and there. So that's what I think I'm going to do. And let's get this down. Oops. So I've been reading a lot. I'm still doing a lot of reading. That was one of the new hobbies that I started when I retired in May of 2022. And I like to read like the Danielle Steele novels and the Debbie Macomber and those types of books. And I have, gosh, was it last weekend? Maybe last weekend. Well, it was 5 days. Over 5 days, I read 4 of those novels. And yeah, and of course, you know, when you do that, you look at what I have going on back here. Oops. let me pull that through. You know, so obviously if I'm reading all of these novels, I'm not doing anything else. And it's like, oh my gosh, let me put the books down and get some stuff done. Now, I mean, with reading, what am I doing? Okay, there we go. That's good. All right, I'm getting it. I'm getting it. Let me pull this needle or this pin out. I lost my X shape. There we go. So I have to force myself to put them down and do other things because I just love it. Now I can do like laundry, I can do my dishes and, you know, the cooking, and I can still do all of that stuff because, you know, I'm not sitting there for like a solid 8 hours and not getting up, right? I'm doing things, but I can start reading in the morning. So let's say, I don't know. I'm just going to say 8:30 in the morning. And I can read until easily past 8:30 at night. Easily. But that doesn't mean that I read for over 12 hours that day because I am, like I said, doing different things around the house. But even still, I mean, that's like a lot of time to be reading, I think. Now, I don't know if you're readers and you always have been readers, or even not, like when you read, do you sit for that long and read? You know, I don't know. I just, because I feel like I'm not accomplishing what I need to accomplish. But you know what? I'm retired. So what do I need to accomplish? You know, I need to, I don't know, and just enjoy. And I do. I enjoy the books so much. And I can't put them down once I start. And yeah, so that's my problem. So it's been, I'm going to say it's been a full week since I've picked up a book, because I know when I pick up that book, I'm not putting it down until it's done. Yeah. So a lot of times, like, I want to give myself grace about it too. And because I guess it's better doing that, like reading, than, I don't know, than spending money on stuff I don't need. Like, you know, that's not good. And, but like Saturdays, I definitely feel like I can be giving myself the grace, the approval, so to speak, to have that day as my reading day. Sometimes I'll start on Friday, which is today. So I'm actually making this video on Friday, so a couple days ago. And so I don't know, after I make this video, like, I do have to do my laundry, and I just might pick up my next novel and that I have ready and just start reading it. And then I know that since today's Friday and tomorrow's Saturday, I'll probably be reading all day tomorrow as well. Let me see. So far I have 4 cross stitches going down. I think I'll put 2 more going down, And then I just have to finish the other side. And at this point, I'm stitching over that feather, but I really don't have a choice. I wasn't planning on doing that, but, you know, in order for me to get this down, that piece of fabric, I need to, so I'm just going to do it. I mean, you can still see the feather. But yeah, so that's, you know, when you read, are you guys like me at all? Or it's just so hard to put the book down? It's almost like when, I don't know, do you guys binge watch? I guess I do a lot of binging. I'm talking about this because I also like to binge watch shows. Now I have, I watch Netflix and Hulu. I do not have a TV set up in my house. I watch on my iPad or my computer, you know, my laptop, or sometimes my phone. It depends, like if nothing else is charged. Then I'll watch on my phone, only because it's small and it's harder to see. You know, I rather watch on my iPad, even though my iPad is a mini iPad, actually, and that's what I record my videos with. So my iPad is right now recording this video, and I'm going to have just enough thread to do this. What was I saying? I totally forgot what I was talking about. I was talking about the iPad. Oh, watching, binging shows. So, yeah, I probably binge too much on the shows. But again, I mean, it could be worse. I could be binging something else. I don't know what, but like, I don't know. I guess I'm trying not to spend a tremendous amount of money at this point in time. And just to prove to myself that I don't have to spend a lot of money. I mean, I have, like, what I spend a lot on would be, of course, crafty type stuff. And I don't need crafty type stuff. I have so much, you know, and so using what I have is definitely my goal. All right, you know what? This is done. This page is done. So the purple, this is sewn down in 2 spots. This is sewn down in 2 spots. This is sewn down. So now, the next thing that we'll do next week, because I try to keep the videos about 30 minutes. I say that probably every week. Sometimes I am successful, sometimes I'm not. But we're going to go ahead and wrap it up for this week. But next Monday, we'll go ahead and sew these pages together. Unless I do it during the week. And if I do that, then we will work on the very last page together. So we're almost done. I mean, this is the last page right here that we have to work on. We're getting really close, really close. So that's going to be it for today. So if you would like to see my Roxy's Journal of Stitchery, volume 3, those videos come out on Wednesdays. The prompts that we got for that is either a hidden door or a garden gate. Both of those just sound challenging to me. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it, so I'm doing a lot of thinking about those prompts. You know, I only need to pick one of them. But yeah, so that's Wednesday. I'll be back with another video Wednesday and Friday this week. So hopefully I will see you there. And thank you so much for being here and watching. I appreciate it very much. All right, I'll see you guys on Wednesday. Have a wonderfully blessed week. All right, bye-bye.